Good afternoon, everyone. Tim Slack, football vagabond. Where am I? Sir James Mitchell Park, South Perth. And just over there, behind me, is the Swan River and City. Okay, so what's it all about? It's this constant, if you like, ambition of every English football fan to win every single game. And they're already launching a bit of criticism towards Tuchel. Look, I've been the player. I'm still a coach, okay? And I'd like to, and yes, I want to win every single game. Every player, every coach wants to win every single game. But this little, if you like, run up to the World Cup, Uruguay, Japan, it doesn't really matter about yes, we want to win them, but it doesn't really matter that much. You just want to get Tuchel's trying to get the right combination of players together. Okay, some players, for example, like Maguire, making a last dash to get in the team. Now, I like Maguire, okay? He's a good defender, but he can break down, just like Shaw. That's probably why Shaw's not been taken. So I would take, for example, I'm surprised that they've not took Tarkowski, Everton captain. And yes, okay, some people might say, oh, Tim, you're a bit biased because he was with you, which he was, at Oldham Athletic School of Excellence when he was a 9-year-old kid. Okay, but for me, you want players now, the players that are going to make up the squad, if you like, not necessarily the mainstay players, but the players that are going to make up the squad. You want them, they've got to be really physically tough, mentally tough, psychologically, emotionally, all that side of it, okay? Because they're only going to be playing second string. But you need players who could come in, or who can come in and be absolutely crucial. So for me, players like Tarkowski is essential. And there's people saying about Welbeck should have had a chance. Well, there you go again. Because with Calvert-Lewin, I like Calvert-Lewin having a good season. But these players can break down. So Tuchel's looking at everything. He's looking at the history, how the physicality has been affecting them over the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons, and if they're going to break down again. And that's what it's all about. Having said that, the big thing that will hurt England, and this has been ongoing for years and years and years, and I've said it before, is the amount of games that the English players have to play throughout a course of the EPL, the season. Yeah. And the cup competitions and everything. So if England don't win this World Cup, or if they don't get to the final, the FA and the EPL and all the powers that be, they have to change the systems because the players are there, okay? So you either change the systems and reformat or reformat the leagues on the cup competitions to make it a little bit more user-friendly in the World Cup year or pre-World Cup year, so that it gives them a chance to be absolutely peak. Because the big problem for me, I can see, is players like, for example, Morgan Rogers. Saka already is showing fatigue. And we've not got to the World Cup yet. So it's the volume of games. They're not robots. These players, as talented and skillful as what they are, they're not robots. So you have to look at things slightly different. But it's all about money, you see. Money, corruption's there. I mentioned this before on a couple of vlogs. So do the really powers that be, do they really care? I don't think they do, to be honest. They make a lot of noise. These are my humble opinions, okay? So it's just my humble opinion. But you have to give the best opportunity, especially in World Cup year, or at least, for me, I would do the pre-World Cup. I'd have at least 18-month run-up to the World Cup to get everybody absolutely super fit. That's one solution. The other solution is that you highly invest, just crossing the road now, you highly invest in coach education. And I'll give you an example. They've taken Roy Hodgson back at Bristol City. Now, Roy Hodgson, in his 70s, right, he's been a good coach, been a top coach. But why is he getting the nod over, for example, a young coach? Is that because there's not enough young coaches around? And if there's not enough young coaches around, then this is where coach education all comes into. And a big coaching tip, not only for England and the FA and every other organisation connected to English football, but around the world, because it happens here in Australia. And this is the coaching tip. better coaches make better players. It's not rocket science, but you've got to invest. If you don't invest, you're not going to get anything. And the game just, you know, the game doesn't, it just stagnates. Well, it has done anyway in Australia. And you can't say, oh, it's because they've got small population. Look, Norway's got a small population, but look how well Norway are doing. So, you know, anyway, back to World Cup and the run-in and today's game against Japan. Just crossing the road again. So really, it's not about beating Japan. Of course we want to beat Japan, but it's about, is there 2 or 3 players there making a last charge who've got the ability to play, if necessary, in the first World Cup game coming up? Because, for example, you might have a Morgan Rogers who's not fit, or an Elliot Anderson who's not fit, or even a Pickford, the goalkeeper. So that's what he's done. He's looking at all these players with the view and the pepper and the idea is to get super well prepared. Anyway, it's a longer vlog than normal. So, and it's not a rant, it's just my honest opinion, humble opinion at that. So tell me what you think, and come on, tick and subscribe. I'm getting a few more views these days on my, look at these birds, by the way. Yeah, anyway, I get distracted. I'm getting a few more vlogs on, or a few more viewers on my shorts, but I need you to start ticking and subscribing on these long play ones, because I've got some good news coming up soon. I'm going to be putting together a series, okay? It's my life, Tim Slack, football vagabond, and how and why I've got to where I've got to, okay? On what has the hand, it's the hand of God. Yep, there's the tip. It's my faith that's kept me where I am today. All right, anyway, love to you all. Thanks for watching, and come on the England national team. Bye for now. Cheers. Thanks for watching.